I want to do Jake.
Talk about that vegan teacher.
What a good sequitur.
You know what I want to do is only eat vegetables forever.
That sounds good. So, for those who don't know who that vegan teacher is, that vegan teacher is...
Wait, is that a vegan that eats fruit too? I said only vegetables.
Technically, I think fruit is a... all vegetables are fruit. So
nothing that provides its own sugars. I only want to eat broccoli, which is the Italian broccoli.
Are you just saying broccoli weird?
Say broccoli, but like it's a Italian American detective. Broccoli.
Okay, so the vegan
Sergeant Broccoli.
The vegan teacher is a vegan who
reporting for duty,
who is online, who tries to convince other people to become vegan, but she does so in the worst way possible.
Yeah.
I'm fully in support of veganism. Baha, my girlfriend, is vegan. That's great. She also
legal name Baha.
She also hates vegan teacher because vegan teacher is condescending and does not do a good job at convincing anyone of anything. She's just obnoxious.
Right. I think a caveat before this is a little bit, but so that vegan teacher is kind of well known, especially for TikTok, for being incredibly. She thinks she's being very left-leaning and progressive and like woke, and is advocating for what she believes is a very good thing. And to some extent, I think that's true. I do think veganism is very ethical for the most part. I think there's lots of really good arguments for veganism. I think the diet is becoming more and more sustainable as the sort of, I guess, society sort of adapts around the lifestyle of veganism. Like things become like even just products that you wouldn't because veganism isn't just food. It's also like the products you have in your house and like even the clothing you wear, and to some extent depending on what you can do, like the types of amenities and stuff you have access to. And so there's plenty of good stuff about that, but she'll do things like write out the N-word in marker and talk about really fucking weird stuff. So she's sort of a loony bin.
She denigrated the LGBTQ community by being like, it's selfish. Coming out as gay or bi or trans or whatever, she's like, that's selfish. Coming out as a vegan, now that's that's selfless because you're helping animals. Like,
yeah. Doesn't veganism have colonialist connotations? I mean, I guess in a way, not really. I mean, all of our diets adapt over time, and just because during colonial periods in our history, like native populations didn't eat a vegan diet does not mean that a native population couldn't become vegan and still maintain parts of their culture. It's a bigger conversation than that, but I don't think it's inherently colonialist, but I do think like the way she does it is very gentrify and white. So there's definitely I agree with you to some extent. There are some really bad versions of vegan culture that's basically like they're like what's the word, suburban socialists. It's a very similar sort of like, I do like socialism, but I also like, the suburbs and like, the sort of lifestyle that goes with that, and cement and lawns and lack of biodiversity. So like, it's a pretty fucked up thing. Now, is this the one that I had told you about before?
I believe it is. This involves the fishing pole.
So I didn't watch this whole thing.
Okay.
I only watched until she finds a fishing pole. So all I know about this video is she's walking in what I assume is a Walmart or similar thing, and she finds a fishing pole and she gets very mad. That is all I know about this video. Do you know anything else about her? Is there anything else you want to add to the preface of this? Because she could be... No. I don't know what's in this video. She could say fucking anything. I don't know what's going to happen.
This will speak for itself. I've seen enough of vegan teacher that she'll...
It could be... Yeah, it could be pretty bad for... Surprisingly, I guess. So, I don't know. When you are.
The future's vegan.
Okay, again, anyone can do whatever they want, but if I see someone walking through a Walmart with a selfie stick filming themselves doing a video, especially
it is a selfie stick, of course it is, yeah.
As someone who does online content for a living and has for almost a decade, Even I find this shit obnoxious. You're in a store. Come on, do your filming at home or in the parking lot. No one else wants to be a part of your video. Stop it.
If you want it, but you gotta change if you want a peaceful world. Guys, this is terrible. Look at this. See this fishing rod? It's designed for a child.
It's a Woody fishing rod.
Woody fishing rod. Look, she's gonna go into like it's really mean to kill fish and stuff, and sure, like it's but I mean like most vegans, even when you ask them, are like fish are things I don't want killed or factory farmed or anything like that, but it's not on the same level as like a mammal based on like kind of the experience. Like you can traumatize a pig, you can't probably traumatize a fish. Maybe you can. You can certainly hurt and harm a fish and torture them. And I agree to some extent that I think fishing poles and like the hooks and the lips and stuff, I never liked that as a kid. I thought it was a little fucked up. I don't fish, but I mean like if you're just catching a fish and you eat it, I don't have that big a problem with that.
No,
it's more the factory farmy shit. Like if you're just catching a single fish.
Yeah. I'm very against the factory farming conditions and stuff like that, but I'm fine with hunting for food. Trophy hunting I think is not cool, but like if you're going out and you are hunting a deer or whatever it happens to be and you actually put it to use and use all the materials and get it, processed I think is what the term, and they give you the meat and they use the rest for other stuff.
Anything like that in your life? Did your dad ever force you into
No, my dad is weird in that he's an aspiring country guy. Like he grew up in the suburbs in Saginaw, and at some point in his life he decided to move out to the middle of nowhere and buy a pickup truck that he never uses for anything because he's afraid to scratch the truck bed. And he listens to country music, but like he only picked that up sometime in the early to mid 2000s.
I don't know if that's more annoying. It is definitely annoying. That's super annoying. But then my dad like actually lived that shit. So like I have the other side of like he wasn't LARPing, he was that. So all the bad shit that comes with that existed. So I don't know. So I have been hunting and I have been fishing and plenty of that shit. And the worst part about fishing for me would only be like catch and release type stuff. And I know that happens sometimes. If it's something too small, you release it, I guess, as part of the sort of sustainability of the waters and stuff like that. You want to make sure that things grow. But like there's some people that only go to fish to like catch and release and don't like do it for food. And that rubs me the wrong way from like kind of an ethical standpoint, but it's also just like, what, go do something else, bro. I think fishing, I grew up around that. And of all the shitty things that I remember of my dad, fishing was not like that shitty of an experience for me. Hunting was more shitty. I always felt bad for the animals, although in Michigan specifically, the white-tailed deer population needs to be controlled. So at least that's an ethical aspect of it. But because there's this really bad wasting disease, and if they have too much of a population, it spreads too fast, and then they suffer even more. So it's like,
I have gone fishing when I was a kid, and at some point I know I intentionally, whenever fishing came up, because part of my family is pretty like outdoorsy and likes hunting and fishing and stuff, not my dad, but like part of that family. So like people at events like 4th of July or whatever, when the family would get together, they'd ask the kids like, who wants to go fishing? I know I would at some point consciously always avoid it. I hate fishing. Ethical shit aside, I find it to be the most boring thing in the world. Yeah, I don't like it, but
usually in my experience, the fishing, because I mean, are you talking about docks or boats?
Either. I've done both.
Yeah, in my experience, the boat aspect is more of an excuse to like get away from the wives. You know what I mean? Like it's a bunch of dudes, and they're all like, let's drink Budweiser and pee off the side of the boat, and like, this does not appeal to me. No. I don't know, not a thing. Maybe like good people to hang out with, a little weed and an anchor, and no fishing poles.
Sure.
And just swimming. That'd be fine.
I'm fine with bodies of water, I actually bought my
Ooh.
first swimsuit, like my first lady swimsuit recently. So
A lady swimsuit.
you know what I mean.
Well, I didn't. I just forgot that you would qualify for that. Like not qualify, like be eligible. I mean, qualify in your speech. Like that's a lady swimsuit. Is default now. But yeah. No, I get it from you. That's a big step, actually. That's good.
Yeah.
That's cool. Are you gonna wear it soon?
If I get
Did
an
you wear it?
opportunity to go
Oh,
to,
Is it like a one
anywhere.
piece, or is it? Did you get like a ooh?
No, I did not get a bikini. Holy shit.
I didn't think you would, but I
need
didn't
a-
know if you were.
I would need to lose a lot more weight before I'm comfortable doing that.
Sure,
Don't
but-
roll your eyes, but it's cute.
Whatever.
I like it.
I can be a hypocrite about this. I wouldn't wear a bikini either. Or I don't want to. And jokes aside, I don't like being shirtless.
Oh gosh, what else was I gonna say? Oh, another random thing. Since I talked about the bathing suit, I finally got my court date for my name change, so that's good.
It's weird that that's a court date.
Yeah. Oh, I found
Just
out
stand
another
in front
thing.
of a judge and be like, "Yeah, this is my name now." And
Yeah.
then they go, "No!" And you go, "Yeah!" And then they go, I don't know. What do they say? Is there going to be an objection? You have a lawyer?
I do have to post in the newspaper that I'm changing the name, so anyone can like
You have to
object.
post in the newspaper?
Yep, you have to in the newspaper be like, "Hey, such and such is changing their name on such and such date. This is the court date if you want to come and object."
If anyone objects, I'm going to fucking go in there.
I don't think anyone reads the newspaper, so it's probably fine.
Hey, thanks, Bellum. I love your face, too. I hope you're having a nice day. Thanks for the $5 reduce.
And I also found out another thing that because of...
Wait, do you want us to go?
You can, yeah, sure.
No, do you want us to?
Sure, that'd be cool.
Okay. Well, if you want support, we'll go. Just let
Yeah,
us
we
know.
can do that and then maybe get lunch or something after.
I didn't actually think about that. I didn't know that was... I assumed you just fucking put in for it. And then they're like, all right, cool.
Nope.
And then it's done.
This
You
is
have to
fucked up.
fucking Stand there?
I only just found this out. So in Michigan, in order to change your
And
gender...
this isn't just for trans people, right? This is for anybody changing their name? Like, if I change my name to Jack...
You have to
it'd
go in
be
front of
like-
a judge, yes.
Okay, at least as long as it's not targeted, it's still fucking weird. But as long as it's not targeted,
Here's the thing that is targeted.
It is targeted?
For me to change my gender identifier on my birth certificate, I have to get a signed letter from a surgeon saying I have already completed bottom surgery.
wait, you have to.
You have to get bottom surgery, which
Why?
I'm getting anyway. But there are trans women who don't necessarily want to get bottom
I mean,
surgery.
there's a million types of different experiences of being trans that don't include bottom surgery. That's fucked up, and we should.
Michigan
I
State
need-
Congress, which is
that
majority
recently?
Republican. I don't know when it was, but that's why.
Is it still a majority Republican right now?
Yeah.
Well, guess what? We know what we got to do in 2022, guys.
But
I
you can
didn't
get
know
it,
that. That is fucked
you can
up.
get it changed on your ID very easily. Like I could go to the Secretary of State today and get that done, just because that's not done by the state Congress or state Senate. It's done by the Secretary of State gets to determine that, and the Secretary of State.
So interesting.
Yeah.
Wait. So legally, you could have an ID that contradicts with all your other records?
Mhm.
What's the point of ID? We're not talking about the vegan teacher right now, but that is fucking dumb.
I know, it's silly.
Why did we get there? Fishing.
Fishing.
Okay, this is more unethical than fishing. Anyway, I guess we'll fucking continue. That is a weird thing that happened naturally out of that conversation. Okay. Refocusing. I'm sure we'll unfocus in the next 27 seconds.
A child.
Uh-huh.
A murder weapon. Designed for a child.
Okay, we gotta stop. Because technically, this is the net, not the murder weapon. This is the how you catch them. This is not the murder weapon. You want to know what a very common murder weapon would be on a boat where fish
Spear.
happens? No. Maybe in like big water.
Grenade.
Sure, like an ocean. That could be a murder weapon. Do you want to
I've
keep
used
guessing?
it in Red Dead 2. Gun. Shooting fish in a barrel.
Gun would work. Usually what it is a baseball bat.
People
or
hit
something-
fish with a
or-
baseball bat.
Or something similar. Well, because you catch them and they flop around, you go, BAM! and then you put them in the water or the cooler. Or you could have a live tank, and then later on the bat comes.
I feel like a good tool for that would probably be, what baseball games they sell those little bats that are like this long.
Yeah, no, there was a small bat. I remember that,
Okay.
or like a piece of PVC pipe. Bladization, thanks for the 5 pounds. Hannah, you're looking lovely today. I was wondering if you could react to Doctor Who Chud Bolastrek. That person just beyond belief. I don't know who that
I'm
is.
not familiar with that person. Tweet me a link at Hannah Reloaded, and I'll check it out.
And then some people just like they're in the tank and they just pass out eventually. Which I assume fish asphyxiation isn't terribly painful because of the way asphyxiation works. You just sort of pass out. So I guess that's.
I don't know enough about fish anything to make a claim on that. Sorry, I'm just putting that there so I remember to look it up later.
Okay.
4 years old and over. This is how young we teach speciesism.
Wait, does that say that, or did she mistake Toy Story 4 for the age? Like, does it say that?
Okay? Hold on. Let me enhance.
Computer enhance.
Is she pointing at the 4, or is she just holding it like that?
It looks like it says ages blanking up on the bottom of the.
I know. It wouldn't surprise me if it was like ages 4 and up or something.
Sure.
I had
she's
one
pointing at the 4. She's literally pointing at the Toy Story 4 sign.
Let's go back and see if she points at it as she says that.
4
Yeah.
years
Yeah, literally Toy Story 4 is
for
what
a
she's pointing.
child. Look. 4 years old and over.
Oh no! Does she not know?
Yeah,
Does she not know? I wouldn't be
be.
surprised if it's 4 and up. I had one very similar to this. It was a Buzz Lightyear one that I had when I was a kid. My grandparents took me out. My
weapon.
My grandparents took me out in their pontoon boat at a lake where they lived at the time.
We should get a pontoon boat.
And the first time I had it, I cast it and I threw it into the lake.
Wait, do you remember after we recorded like the 3rd episode of TBR, we're like, how are we gonna end this ever? Yeah. And you know what the idea was? You remember it?
Yeah, we're gonna go out in a boat.
I think it's gonna be.
We're gonna go
SS
out on a
boat.
We're gonna go out on SS boat, and we're gonna destroy our Bibles that we use.
I think that should be how it works. I think we should throw them away into the ocean. Yeah, which is pollution technically. Toy Story 4 and up. That's true.
Over. This is how young we teach speciesism. That certain animals, it's okay to torture them by taking them out of their home. There's a fishing rod. Like, what the fuck is wrong with us?
That's a good question.
I don't know why. Like, I understand the ethics behind veganism. I don't understand the urgency behind veganism.
Okay, I kind of do. I'm not gonna say I viscerally understand.
Like this urgency? I understand the urgency behind factory farming. This kind of stuff.
Sure.
Because like
this, I think
20 years ago, maybe 30 years ago, people or I guess pretty much post World War II, it wasn't that much, but we've been packaging food for a brief period of time. Like food is something that people need to still like find at times. Like food security is not overall, and specifically not like produce. We're not like that, especially for most of the world. And it's only been her generation that started like veganism being viable just recently. Like this isn't like I don't know. Anyway, so the urgency.
I understand when it's like you said, for factory farming, because from their perspective, it's, and I don't agree with the rhetoric she uses when she compares it to the Holocaust, which she does regularly. But like, I understand why she's viscerally concerned and angry.
Sure.
Because when you view animals the way she does, and even if I became a vegan or a vegetarian, I still don't think I would probably view animals the same way she does.
Yeah, me either.
She is. I'm trying to do this without being rude, because I really don't want to be rude about this. I feel like she's anthropomorphizing animals to an extent that is unreasonable, and it is causing her a great deal of panic. Now, that doesn't mean I don't recognize the horrible treatment that animals are undergoing. They absolutely are. animals are getting treated horribly, and I don't think they should suffer before we use them for food. I think if we're going to raise these animals and breed them, we should try and provide them with a relatively comfortable life before their deaths. But I also think she's applying a level of self-awareness to these beings that is not congruent with reality.
Like things like fish. So with pigs and well, especially pigs, like they're pretty goddamn intelligent. Like I definitely agree with people about that. I agree with them about things like SeaWorld, and any other sort of mistreatment akin to that kind of thing, circuses. But just like free fishing, I don't know. Jules of the Stardust Fields of Nebula 9, thank you for the $5 dues. If she was concerned about the environment and the life within it, shouldn't she be using a reusable mask instead of creating more trash? That's not a terrible. It's not a terrible critique. I assume that most of her life is based pretty ethically as far as vegans are concerned.
Sure.
So, like for me, this doesn't. I don't think she's a hypocrite for this. I do think that she is too severe on other people if she's going to do something like that. However, again, I agree with you. I think she's anthropomorphizing that, and I do think it causes her a lot of distress. And like, I think whenever we have a discussion about veganism, it's almost always like, yeah, they're right, but the convenience of it has to be improved quite a bit because of the way that our lifestyles expect a certain amount of convenience at this point. And I also think
they gotta fix vegan cheese. That's my
vegan cheese sucks.
The meat's gotten pretty good. I could if tomorrow,
the Daiya stuff can be pretty good.
If tomorrow someone said to me, you have to only eat like Beyond Meat or whatever, happens after Beyond Meat.
Yeah.
Sure, fine.
I can fuck with that.
If someone was like, you can only ever have vegan cheese for the rest of your life, I'd be like, ugh, I guess I'm not eating cheese anymore.
Right. Yeah.
Vegan cheese is quite bad most of the time in my experience.
Yeah. There's some of them that can be pretty good, but I find them to be intense, like real cheesy, like American cheese style.
Okay.
And that's just like it's waxy, and I'm not a big fan of that. But like Daiya makes pretty decent vegan cheese. But I don't know. I think this hurts veganism more than it helps it by a long shot. Like I think you get obstinate when you look at someone like this. They're like a murder weapon. I want to go fishing now.
I agree. She's not, and whenever I cover her on my stream over on Twitch, I always point out, like, she's being the stereotype of the vegan that assholes like to make fun of.
Well, she's clearly like, I don't know.
She's not meeting people. She's not meeting people at their level at all. Like, I understand that she feels this way about the ethics of this, but if you're not willing to look at it from someone else's perspective, like, random Joe Schmo guy who just wants to fucking grill and has never thought about this in his life, like, he is not going to understand what you are saying if you go and you yell at him and you're like, you're a murderer! You're worse than Hitler! Like, he's gonna be like, whoa, you're fucking crazy. If you're gonna try and get people to see animals as ethically equivalent to human beings in terms of what they deserve, then you need to get them to that point. You can't just chastise them into that viewpoint.
I agree. 100%.
It's nuts. If this child tried to pull the tail of a cat, everyone would say, no, don't do that.
Interestingly, that's a fairly recent thing, I found out. Treatment of animals, like cats and stuff and dogs, has gotten much better in the past century or so. Like kids used to fuck with stray animals all the time, and it was just like, oh, you kids.
Oh, yeah.
The idea that you would, like, punish a child for hurting a stray cat, or any cat for that matter, is kind of a new thing.
All of our grandparents probably tortured fucking animals because they're just like, I don't know, the Great War just happened. Let's see what these guns do. Pansexual Pixels, thanks for the $2. Sorry, we don't need to do anything, so I appreciate that. It's fine. Don't feel obligated to send your money this way. We just appreciate it when you do. Yeah, it's hopefully our animals know how good they have it, those privileged bastards.
If they tried to sit on a dog, people would say, no, don't hurt the dog. But when it comes to fish, we say, hey, here's a great idea. Take this in your hand and sit there beside the water and try to kill a fish. Try to kill someone.
This is so different, though, right? Because people aren't yanking on cattails as a form of like hunter-gatherer behavior. They're not
Yeah.
sitting on dogs is a new abuse tactic I've never heard of. But like people don't sit on dogs for their meats. But if you shot a dog because you were starving and you needed to eat it, most people would go like, "That sucks," and that's rough. But I mean, like, yeah, you had to eat. That makes sense.
She seems completely immune to the idea also that people, based on like cultural factors, and
Yeah.
not only cultural factors, but just like realistic factors of recognizing that different animals are different, that we
Yeah.
treat animals differently based on what the animal is and our relation to them. She tends to
Yeah.
get mad about like, oh, you wouldn't eat your pet. Why would you eat a cow? And it's like, well, we live in a culture where that's acceptable, and we grew up
Well,
in that culture.
right.
And
Yeah.
I feel
We're all
this certainly-
normalized certain things.
and I've talked about this before too. Like, it's different in other countries. Like, if I went to India, you know, you're not going to be eating beef. So it's
Yeah.
just
But they eat fuckloads of chickens and lambs and all sorts of stuff.
there's other parts in the world where you're not going to find a lot of pork. There are parts
and
of
we
the
just
world
don't.
where you might
we don't
find things that we consider pets here in the United States for sale for meat. Like, it's
Absolutely.
culture. It's culturally contextual how human beings treat
Yeah.
other animals.
And just from like a biological perspective, because we are mammals, we see more kinship just from a visceral standpoint, like an animalistic amygdala thing, medulla. Like a dog or a pig or a cat or a cow, we feel closer to them. And obviously, cats and dogs have they've co-evolved with us as part of sort of a it's not a symbiotic relationship, but it's a shared social growth thing. For 10,000 years we've had these animals around, and it's just different. I don't know, like fish aren't like us, and it's just easier to do things that aren't like you. Like, for instance, I think it's easier to be really grossed out by like tentacles trying to reach up and touch you from the sea than it is being grossed out by like a bunch of cats running into the room and touching you with their tails. Like, but that's not really a terribly different thing. It's just still a limb that they have, and it's not really doing anything to you. Or I guess something with like a, is it prehensile where it can grab you like a bunch of little monkeys or something. It's not terribly different, but I don't know. Like, we just identify differently with different animals. It's just strange that she doesn't seem to understand.
They never did a single thing wrong to you, but hey, go ahead.
What if a fish killed my parents?
Your dad's Jonah.
Try to murder them. Killing a fish is the equivalent of somebody taking you and shoving your head under the water.
I don't think those are morally equivalent things. I put human
Being
life
baptized.
above. I put human life above that of a fish. I guess she doesn't.
I do as well.
And you're flailing around, desperate to grab some air, gasping for air. That's what we do. We teach kids that it's okay to do the opposite of that to fish, which is them being out of the water and dying. A slow, painful death.
That's why you hit him with the bat.
I've literally never seen anyone just leave a fish out in the air. It happens, I'm sure, but mostly, actually, I have seen it. But every time it was like kids, like not knowing and understanding like how fish live, like a goldfish or something. I've never seen an adult fish, and just like, because they flop around, and it's like, you don't want that shit. Even if it's just selfish, even if it's just like, I don't want this fish flopping around. They're not done like that. And live tanks are usually more common because they stay fresh before you can process them. So
sure, like I have a cousin who hunts. He's a friend of my dad. He's kind of a dick in a lot of other ways. But the way I've seen him treat animals, and he's a hunter. He used to use our backyard to hunt because we had a nice area for hunting at the time. So he turned a tree into a tree blind, and he would hunt during hunting season in our yard. He had a lot of respect for the animals that he hunted, and I know Vegan Teacher would be like, what do you mean he had respect? He fucking killed them, whatever.
Yeah.
But no,
I experienced that as well. A lot of hunters
he
are like that.
He shot the animal, and then if the animal didn't die, you know, he'd want to put it out of its misery as quickly as possible, and then he used the meat. Like, for the next year, he'd use up that meat, and he'd give it to people and stuff. Like, he had a lot of respect for that. And when he went fishing, same thing. He had respect for the animals he was hunting, even though he's hunting them. I think the issue is people who have disrespect and treat animals that they're eating like they're not alive, rather than just outright, you know, no one should ever eat meat, ever.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I agree. Is she also anti-pet?
No, she has a dog that she feeds.
A dog?
Vegan. Yeah.
At least, he can eat vegan. Well, I said he because I was thinking about my dog.
It is a guy.
It's a guy dog. We asked. Dogs can have vegan diets to some extent, like they have crude protein, but cats, some vegans have cats that they try to do, and that's really bad because they're obligate carnivores. So please don't do that.
Yeah.
Sick. And then we look at this. Toy Story. So this is like Disney that's promoting this now?
Cowboy. He herded cattle. That's his job. And why did he herd cattle? Like,
I don't know if
one of the characters is a pig.
I don't know if it's canonically established if Woody from Woody's Roundup actually did cattle stuff. He saved the town mostly.
Well, he guess he was a sheriff.
He was a sheriff. So. Yeah, he's a sheriff who's dressed like a cowboy because reasons.
Venom Gaming, thanks for the $5. Hunting is all about respect between the hunter and the hunted. If you don't respect the animal, it's not hunting. It's just warped form of sport. I would tend to agree with that. I do think there's intent involved with that. I mean, I watched of all the bad things my dad did, he was not cruel to animals in that. Although he was cruel at sometimes to some animals. Like he would shoot raccoons and shit, which I thought was fucked up because he thought they were pests. But like with fish and like the hunting and stuff, he definitely is a person that I thought, even now, and I'm very biased against him, I don't think he was terribly cruel to animals he hunted or fished. In fact, I remember him specifically doing this really weird thing that he thought was funny, and it isn't not funny, I guess. It's kind of a cute thing to do to a kid, I guess, but when he would catch fish that weren't big enough, he would give them a kiss on the lips and send them back into the water as a sort of like an apology thing. Sure. And also like, we respect it. And it's not going to help the fish, but it was kind of like this, it kind of encapsulated sort of the mentality of like, we respect this and we don't abuse it. And these waters are good for us. And this is good for everyone that lives here. And we want to try to do that. So, a lot of bad things he did. I don't think hunting or fishing is one of those things I would put on.
I don't know. I don't even know what to tell you. Oh, and look at here.
Bow.
This one too.
Is that a bow?
Look at that.
Or is that a no?
No, it's another fishing pole.
Oh, well, for some reason I looked away to chat for a second, looked back, and I thought it was Merida, but no, that's the Frozen 2.
The girls' version.
The girls' version, yikes.
Wow, that's not very woke of you, vegan teacher. You telling me a little boy can't want a fishing pole based on Frozen 2? How dare you?
You know what I thought? I immediately thought ice fishing rather than just fishing.
Okay, sure.
The girls' version of a weapon. Here you go.
I just don't agree with calling a pole a weapon. It's not a weapon.
Insane.
You could call it a booby trap.
I'd call it a tool.
A trapping mechanism, a tool, yeah.
Yeah.
You can even call it a cruel tool. I'm fine with that. It's a hook and it hurts them. I'm fine with that. Provide cruelty to it, but it's not a weapon. You're not killing anybody with the pole.
I'm fine with trap, because you are baiting it and trying to get it to eat the thing. A spear is arguably a weapon.
Yeah.
Fishing pole,
so
not
is the
so
baseball bat. Certainly not this.
Do you people not see how nuts that is? You want your kids to be nice, loving human beings, but we have this crap in the stores. When is the last time you spoke out against it? What are you waiting for? Stop. You teach kids, some of you, to be nice to butterflies.
Oh.
Why?
Would you be nice to a butterfly?
Why
No, I run away from butterflies. I don't like butterflies.
don't you teach your kids to kill butterflies?
You know what's great? We went to the zoo. This is related. We went to the zoo, and we saw a bunch of cute little animals. We saw the the red pandas. They're cute. We saw. I tweeted this. We saw the. I think the chimpanzees were eating poo-poos.
I saw your tweets about that. Those made me laugh
They were
so
all
hard.
pooping at the same time, and they were all going through their poopy and eating them. And
your commentary was just so fucking bad. It was so good.
But the one thing that they did not have that I was desperate to send to you, they did have a butterfly house, and I was gonna walk into that butterfly house and just take a video smiling maniacally and looking around while surrounded by butterflies. It was closed. It was closed, so you didn't get tortured. So, but I was going to, if I did that, I was gonna probably have to buy you a souvenir or something.
Why would you have to buy me a souvenir?
Because you are traumatized by butterflies like a weirdo.
I don't think I'd be traumatized by you filming a video of butterflies.
Yeah, but it was a little mean, but it was still hilarious.
What? Oh, some of you do? Oh, fantastic. Good job. What do you all
Now she's being indignant about the people that agree with her.
Hey, let's climb up that tree and let's get the eggs and just fucking smash them. Who gives a shit, right? After all, you eat eggs? What's the difference?
Wait, what? Vegans eat eggs? What vegans is she talking at?
I don't think she's talking about vegans. I think she's just talking about...
Wait.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, who's this video for? Her.
Mm-hmm.
Do people climb into trees to steal, like, eggs?
I'd hope not. I don't think they'd taste very good.
The last person I can recall that climbed into a tree to steal eggs was the old prospector from the Buster Scruggs anthology. And he climbed to the eggs.
Do you like eggs?
I love eggs.
If I bought us a collective ostrich egg, would you make a giant omelet for all of us?
Yeah, I've never had an ostrich egg.
Because they sell those. Apparently it tastes a lot like chicken eggs if you make like an omelet out of it.
I'll make a fucking huge omelet, yeah.
Okay. You need like a hammer to crack it.
I have a hammer. Yeah. Okay. I'll cook a fucking ostrich egg. Hell yeah.
I'll consider it.
That sounds wild.
I think it's like $60 to buy an ostrich egg.
How often do ostriches lay eggs?
I don't know.
Is it as often as a chicken?
Those
are pretty big eggs, right? Like,
how often do ostriches lay
keep
eggs?
The shell? Yeah, I mean, I think you're supposed to like trep in it and then dump it out, right? Like mix it up inside. Ostriches do not lay eggs throughout the year like chicken.
They have a specific breeding season that starts in June, July every year, and the birds will lay one egg every second day. So it's ostrich egg season.
Let's do it. We'll have one for it's July. Let's have one for like 4th of July. Okay. We'll have an ostrich egg omelet. That's the weirdest goddamn freedom feast ever. Hell yeah.
Speciesism is a disease. Humans are a disease on this planet. We need to grow hearts. We need to start giving a shit. We need to stop this insanity. Don't eat
Every
fish.
time I'm about to agree with her, she ruins it.
No.
Don't steal eggs from chickens. Don't steal baby cows from their mothers and murder them. Don't steal wool from sheep. Don't steal.
The sheep.
No.
Because if you don't shear sheep, it fucks them up. Have you seen what it looks like when you don't shear sheep?
They get very unhealthy. You need to shear sheep.
And you could argue.
I guess we could throw away the wool if you want.
I imagine some of this is due to selective breeding, but like it is what it is at this point. If you don't shear a sheep, it hurts the sheep. Yeah. Like you can't not shear sheep at this point, otherwise they'll die.
This is like so. These are all pictures, I assume, of sheep that got away, and then they shear it all off, and they're so much happier because of the way they grow and the way they've been bred forever to be good at growing wool. Like you just can't. And I don't think do sheep even have like bad lives? Like, aren't they just like don't they just wander around and get shaved and eat food?
I think so. I would imagine at some point in their lives, maybe they
get slaughtered at the end, maybe?
Possibly, but in terms of like...
But sheep's milk is a thing, too, that you can have, and so you'd want, true. Like...
In terms of livestock, they probably have it pretty decently.
Probably okay. I'd say most, especially nowadays when people are like, please be nice. Duct Tape Madman with $5. Thank you very much. Says drill at the bottom of the ostrich egg, and you can clean and keep the egg. So there you go. So the way I've seen it is someone you get a hole in the ostrich egg in some way, so the bottom makes sense, or technically the top, right? Because I feel like it comes out small side first. Anyway, you drill it and then you scramble it while it's still in the egg and sort of pour it out like a coconut.
Okay.
And then you can keep because it's a pretty resilient shell, so you could keep that and polish it.
I saw someone did a YouTube video where they made a whole giant omelet with an ostrich egg, and they also did, oh gosh, what's it called? Eggs in a basket or something. They took like a whole loaf of bread and hollowed it out and did the... gosh, I forget what it's called. It's basically an egg cooked in bread, more or less.
Oh, egg in a hole. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's
really
good
good.
shit. Love it. I've had it before. You should have it. If you eat dairy, you should eat veal. Veal is a byproduct of dairy. I don't like veal. You ever had it? I'm not a fan of it. I don't really fuck with beef a lot, though. I know you eat more burgers and shit like that than I do. And
Not
even
as much
so, like
anymore, but
I
yeah.
think the Impossible is way tastier. I like it a lot more.
Yeah.
Than beef. Like, and I don't eat steaks very often. I had veal parmesan once, and it was fine. It was just like,
Okay.
not worth it. Certainly not worth a dead baby cow.
Sure.
Not interested.
You know what's weirdly, like, really... Have you had pheasant? I'm a big fan of pheasant.
I have had pheasant. Yeah.
I like pheasant.
Pheasant's good. I like all sorts of birds.
Yeah.
Birds are tasty. But again, like I try to buy, if I buy chicken or something, I try to buy something that like is at least rated well, rather than just like Walmart brand chicken. Here you go. We cut their beaks off at birth. Like,
Sure.
that ain't it.
Would you go into the store and just start stealing stuff randomly? No?
Yes.
Why not?
Because
What?
I'm a leftist.
Stealing is
can.
wrong. That's right.
No, it's not.
So why is it...
Wait, why is stealing wrong? Wait. That's not true. That's not true. You
Are
can
you
steal
going to try
some
and
stuff
have
ethically.
a philosophical debate about what is ethical to steal?
I'm not gonna try. I'm just saying, like, I mean, that's just a weird argument for a vegan, like, to make. Is that stealing's always wrong? It's like, buddy, I don't know about that one.
I had a friend in
Jeez.
high school who got caught stealing insulin because she couldn't afford insulin, and it was either they were going to charge her or she had to pay 10 times what it was worth in the first place. Yay, America!
Steal the fishing pole, cowards, says Bella. Do it. Get it off the streets. It's a weapon.
Kids to steal the lives of animals. They
If fishing poles were weapons, they'd be giving them to the police.
have nothing. They have no objects. Just think about it.
Wait, what?
They are in the water, minding their own business, just having a life, not hurting
Why do they-
anybody. And you're gonna
why do
teach
they need
a kid
objects?
to kill them or to hurt them. The worst is that you actually think that
Wait.
this doesn't hurt. Some kids are taught.
Hold on. Wait. If fish had material wealth, it would be more ethical to kill them? I don't understand that. That's really weird.
Eat the rich fish?
Oh, it's okay. Go ahead and put a hook into someone's mouth. Rip through the skin there. Rip right through.
That's
and then just
super
rip
high
it
level
out.
kink
Oh,
play.
the fish is fine. Just throw it back in the water. Like, oh yeah? How would you like it if somebody did that to you? Put a hook through you here.
I probably wouldn't be a fan. Just putting it out there. I probably wouldn't be a fan.
Not a huge fan.
No.
And just picked you up and threw you. Just threw you away. And I'm like, oh, you'll be fine. Really? How long does it take that wound to heal? How long does it take the...
That's actually a good question. How long does it take for fish to heal
From fishing.
from hooks?
Hook?
An interesting fact is that the
48
study,
hours?
the
Wait.
line cut treatment had 45.5% of fish that expelled the hook from their throat after 48 hours and 10
Oh,
days.
that's way different.
Okay. Heal quickly,
Wait,
but only if aquarium fish.
These are different questions being answered right now.
If the hole is minuscule, is muscle tissue, he says, then there probably is less risk of mortality than if the hole is near an organ, such as the stomach, eye, or gills. Yeah, I'd imagine so.
Wait, people, wait. I'm confused. People leave their hooks in fish when they release them? Who does that? You take the hook back. That's what the hook is for. I've never heard of anybody leaving the hook in.
I haven't either.
The fish to get over the trauma. How long before the fish can eat normally? It's fucked up. Leave animals alone. Leave them off your plate. Don't pay people to murder them, to rape them into existence. This is what we do.
That's what she calls animal breeding. Not good.
We take sperm from males, from bulls. You know that people touch them inappropriately.
The way she describes this is so funny.
Yeah.
I've seen documentaries where they show how they do this. They have basically industrial fleshlights that they use on the bull, and they jerk off into the container, and it collects the seed, and then they impregnate the females with the seed. It's not what she is describing it as. Let me put it that way.
I mean, it can be fucked up. It does lead to further problems, like continually being pregnant to increase milk production and shit like that.
Oh, sure.
But like, Jesus Christ. Please don't equate it to something much more worse than that.
Masturbate them. Take the sperm and put it into females. It's called rape.
Why is she like this? No!
That is the definition. We touch them inappropriately, the males and the females. And then we put the females back into the cycle of violence all the time after we steal her babies from her and steal her milk. Don't steal. Don't steal fish out of the water away from their families. Don't steal chickens. Don't steal their eggs. Don't steal milk from baby cows. Be kind. Has nothing bad ever happened to you in your life? Do you not understand pain and suffering? Don't hurt anyone. Don't hurt the animals. It's not that hard, people. It takes nothing from a human.
Somebody got the shitty cart.
Away
You can
from
hear it.
To be kind to an
The one where one of the wheels is like off the ground a little bit.
Oh god,
Oh
the
shit!
an
Oh god, the
employee's
poor employee is like, oh fuck, I'm walking out.
and
Look,
she's
that's
replacing a fishing pole. A fishing pole
stick-
got returned or something.
Shit. And this right here is the moment you notice the selfie stick, the specific frame you pause at. It's perfect timing. Good job.
This is moments before disaster.
Start now.
Oh good, she left her alone. That's good.
Christ. Don't you know that you're putting a murder weapon on the shelves? Is she keeping the last 20 seconds of this for more ads for her own thing? That seems ethical.
God, what was the one where she walked around the grocery store? This segment's
I
already
don't know.
long enough as it is. I didn't think we'd go this long on this. But God, there was such a funny clip from it. It's whatever. I wish she'd not be the way she is. Cause like,
yeah, she's not wrong. In like 30% of her messages, like, yeah, I get it, and then the rest of it is just fucking bananas. Oh god, she's gonna lose it. 60 minutes this we can't do.
No. I'll just real quick. Let me show you a couple of clips.
A pig.
By the way, who buys that shit?
Screaming in terror. This is someone's ribs. Their ribs. Feel your ribs right now on your chest. Feel the bones on your chest. Someone's ribs.
Okay, I'm not saying this to be shitty. It's not a ironic thing. I had ribs the other day, and they were super tasty. Um, and this re-upped my desire for dead flesh, and that is
No matter what your
the
religion
opposite.
or your race, to becoming
It's
vegan
literally
or-
just 16 minutes of her looking at shit at the store at like
What's that?
Costco.
Is that potato salad?
which makes them not vegan.
Hell yeah. That's true. They're not vegan. Eggs in there and stuff.
Is terrible.
Yeah. Oh,
The dairy
jeez.
industry takes baby boy cows away from their mothers and murders them,
Oh, you just
turns them into
yeah.
veal, and then steals their milk and makes cheese out of it.
She says
Don't
milk.
buy cheese.
This is
Uh,
we're gonna get the money shot. This is my favorite.
okay. Money shot. Oh jeez. Oh no.
What the
Oh,
fuck
God.
is this?
Oh fuck.
Just the way she says it.
She's been in the store before,
it
right?
sounds like she genuinely is unfamiliar with the concept of a lobster tank. It's just so genuine, her distress.
I've never.
What the fuck is this?
I'm not a fan of lobster tanks. I think it's fucking weird, but like, Jesus.
This is my new ringtone.
What the fuck is this?
What the fuck is this? Why do you have live animals here? This is torture.
I just work here. What the fuck? It says a very similar energy to the, you know that guy on TikTok that's very striking
It's
looking?
terrible. You're torturing.
That is like, there are no coincidences, and the lady screamed.
No, I haven't.
How did you avoid that? It
I
went
don't-
viral all week.
I don't know.
Oh, well, everybody in chat, you should know what I'm talking about. Yeah!
these animals. Terrible. This is a crime. Who would do this to anyone? Look at them, they're still alive. Why are you torturing them like this? You could eat anything else.
The employee is just like, God damn it.
I get paid almost minimum wage to be here,
Costco
lady.
actually pays pretty well, apparently, so he's
Well,
probably fine.
still, it's like this is the broader problem here is not people that eat food. It is or that eat animals for food. It is capitalism.
Sure.
That's the broader problem. Well, I mean, it literally is.
Despicable.
It's just like
So that's the vegan teacher. She's very funny. Here's a new video. Russel Brand, you need to be tougher on Ben Shapiro.
Russel Brand went on the Ben Shapiro thing to talk about his spirituality.
Is Russell
for
Brand a
Russell.
chud now?
No, I don't think so. I think Russell Brand thinks in his head that if I'm kind to Ben Shapiro, maybe he will be kinder, because that's kind of Russell Brand shit.
That's
Um,
very, very naive of him.
It is. It is. I watched some of the talk and was like, I don't know, is this guy going to say some fucked up shit? But nah, he was just kind of being a hippie. But he was being pro spiritual, which is what Ben Shapiro really wanted out of him,
Yeah.
and it was weird. Russell Brand believes in Great Reset. I don't know in what way that manifests in his brain. I didn't hear him talk about that. Chud Light. I don't think he's a chud that like he doesn't come out. Okay, so he might have bad opinions. I don't think he's like out here doing stuff unless he is. And I haven't seen him. But most of the stuff he's doing is like hippy dippy shit. That is just like
There are sort
at
of
worst it just doesn't like help anybody.
There are weird new age chuds. Like yesterday I watched they're part of a cult called Love Has Won. I don't know if you heard about them. They mummified their leader a while back.
That's what you do.
Yeah.
Will you guys mummify me when I'm dead? Because I'm sort of a cult leader now.
Anyway, they're like new age hippie dippy bullshit too, but they're also into like the QAnon stuff, and they want Trump back as president. So like, it's getting weird out there.
Yeah, Russell just seems like a guy that went through a lot of addiction issues and is trying to find a way on the other side of that to stay grounded, and he's into some shit. But he doesn't sound like terribly problematic in general. He could be. I could be missing it. I don't watch a lot of Russel Brand, admittedly. Jurga? Fjurgen? Is that how you say your name? Thanks for the $5 reduce. This is my first time being able to catch a live stream. Love you guys. Hey, thank you so much. Appreciate it. He somehow fucked Katy Perry. I mean, Katy Perry probably fucked him back. I don't know. That's probably mutual. M the Ambassador, that's $5 reduce as well. The only thing I remember about Russel Brand is that he voiced a rabbit in that Shat Jelly Beans. Oh. I remember him from Get Him to the Greek.
Not forgetting Sarah Marshall, but the spin-off movie.
Yeah, I like Getting to the Greek better. Get Him to the Greek is like actually kind of a good movie.
This is the most offensive opinion you've ever expressed to me, that you like Get Him to the Greek better than Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
Yeah, I do. Because I think Forgetting Sarah Marshall is a little like, I don't think the main character is actually terribly like a decent person. Looking back on it,
I don't think that's necessarily the point, though. I don't know.
Well, sure. I just like the whole thing is like a really like a lots of jealousy and toxicity, and it's just a weird thing. Well, and then Get Him to the Greek, it Russell Brand's character specifically teaches the main character how not to be that way, and that's good. I like that.
All right, so that's this hour-long talk on the vegan teacher and other random shit.
We talked for an hour about her?
We talked for an hour about her.
Well, all right. Okay, I guess that's what we do. Is that the end of the video then?
It is. This is the end.